Hey, COPILOT, can you give me what's your name? Bob, I think? Anyways, can you give me a short summary of the State of the Union speech?
Sure thing. So, for the latest State of the Union, President Trump gave a super long speech. It clocked in at about an hour and 48 minutes, actually, the longest one on record. I pretty much focused on how he feels the economy is booming and how he's brought down inflation. Of course, there's some fact checking that suggests he may have stretched a few things, like the idea that prices are plummeting, which isn't really the full picture. Overall, he claimed it's a golden age for the U.S., and there were some pretty pointed exchanges with Democrats who didn't exactly agree with his take. And hey, feel free to just call me Meeco. Anyway, what else can I fill you in on?
Well, wasn't most of what he said false or lies? Can you tell me that?
Well, it's only fair to say that fact checkers had a busy night after that speech. I mean, politicians from all sides tend to put a bit of spin on things, but yeah, some of his claims definitely need a reality check. It's not exactly black and white, but there were a few points where he might have been a little, let's say, selective with the facts. So, were there any specific claims from the speech you're curious about? Or just the overall takeaway?
No, I want to know the top 10 lies.
Yeah, so let me break it down for you. There were a handful of points that got flagged as pretty questionable. For instance, one big exaggeration was the claim that tariffs are basically replacing income taxes, which just isn't true. They only cover a tiny fraction of federal income. Another one that stood out was his statement that millions of folks were lifted off food stamps. In reality, it was more about stricter work requirements than an actual improvement in people's financial situations. And there was also a claim about a so-called warrior dividend to service members being funded by tariffs, which turned out to be totally false. It actually came from a housing fund. So yeah, you could say there were definitely a few total KLs in there. Anything else you want to dive into?
Thanks.